In the late 1970s, China was a nation defined by rural poverty and isolation. Most people lived in the countryside, working the land with simple tools, their lives shaped by the seasons and the struggle to survive. Collective farming left families with little more than what the state provided, and dreams rarely reached beyond the next harvest. Villages were modest, with limited electricity, running water, or modern conveniences. A bicycle was a luxury, a telephone, a rarity. Yet beneath this stillness, a desire for change was growing, a yearning for progress and a better life. The nation was ready for transformation, waiting for a leader to harness this energy. The world watched, unaware that China was on the verge of an economic miracle. This was not just a shift in policy, but the beginning of a new era that would reshape the lives of over 1 billion people. The stage was set for a dramatic awakening. What followed would challenge everything the world thought it knew about development. The story of modern China was about to begin. Out of hardship emerged Deng Xiaoping, a leader whose pragmatism would change China forever. He saw that rigid ideology had led to stagnation and believed prosperity mattered more than dogma. Deng's mantra: "It doesn't matter if a cat is black or white, as long as it catches mice." He launched the reform and opening up era, starting with the countryside. Collective farms were replaced by the household responsibility system, letting families profit from their own labor. Productivity soared, famine faded, and hope returned to rural China. This success gave Deng the confidence to push for broader reforms. He urged the nation to seek truth from facts, encouraging experimentation and adaptation. Deng's vision was to blend market forces with state control, creating socialism with Chinese characteristics. He became the architect of a new China, focused on rejuvenation and practical results. The first steps were bold, but they set China on a path of unprecedented transformation. The world would soon witness the results. With rural reforms thriving, Deng Xiaoping looked outward. He knew China needed foreign investment, technology and modern management. The solution, special economic zones or SEZs, experimental hubs for capitalism along the coast. Shenzhen, once a sleepy fishing village, became the flagship SEZ in 1980. These zones offered tax breaks, relaxed regulations and welcomed foreign companies. Factories sprang up, jobs multiplied and foreign capital poured in. Shenzhen's population exploded, transforming it into a symbol of opportunity. The SEZs became engines of growth, showing that Chinese labor and global capital could create prosperity. Their success convinced leaders to expand market reforms nationwide. SEZs also became windows to the world, introducing new technologies and business practices. A new generation of entrepreneurs and managers emerged from these dynamic cities. The experiment worked. China was open for business. The rise of SEZs triggered a massive migration from rural villages to booming cities. Millions left farming behind, seeking factory jobs and a better future. Life for migrant workers was tough: long hours, crowded dorms and separation from families. Yet their labor powered China's manufacturing miracle, building cities and filling ships with exports. This migration reshaped society, creating a new urban working class and accelerating urbanization. Cities expanded rapidly while remittances improved life in home villages. The flow of people and ideas broke down old barriers connecting city and countryside. Over time, factories shifted from simple goods to advanced manufacturing. China became the world's factory, its supply chains indispensable to the global economy. The journey of the migrant worker mirrored the nation's transformation. Resilient, ambitious and relentless, urbanization and industrialization redefined what it meant to be Chinese. The nation was on the move and the world took notice. By 2001, China's leaders sought deeper integration with the world economy. After years of negotiation, China joined the World Trade Organization. This move opened global markets and required China to lower tariffs and embrace international trade rules. Exports soared, fueling a new wave of factory construction and job creation. Chinese goods, from electronics to clothing, flooded the world, making China the workshop of the world. Foreign investment surged, bringing capital, technology and expertise. Multinational companies built advanced factories and supply chains across China. This influx modernized industries and moved China up the value chain. The export boom generated wealth for infrastructure and high-tech development. China's growth became central to the global economy, linking its fortunes to those of nations worldwide. The world's economic center of gravity was shifting east. China was now a pillar of global commerce. Economic growth created a new phenomenon in China, a vast rising middle class. Hundreds of millions gained disposable income, moving beyond subsistence to comfort and aspiration. Modern apartments, cars and travel became attainable for many. The middle class fueled booms in real estate, automotive and tourism. E-commerce exploded with platforms like Alibaba transforming shopping habits. China's economy was no longer just export-driven. Domestic consumption became a powerful growth engine. Shopping malls and online marketplaces flourished in every city. The middle class demanded better education, healthcare and quality of life. Attitudes shifted. People became more health-conscious, environmentally aware and individualistic. A new culture of self-expression and global awareness emerged, especially among the young. China's consumers were now shaping not just their own society, but global markets. The nation had become a land of dreamers and doers. China's leaders knew the country couldn't rely on low-cost manufacturing forever. The goal moved from made in China to created in China. Massive investment in research, universities and tech policy followed. China leapfrogged into the mobile internet age, creating a unique digital ecosystem. Giants like Alibaba and Tencent built super apps that redefined daily life. China pioneered a cashless society, with nearly all transactions done by smartphone. The country became a leader in electric vehicles, solar panels and green tech. Companies like Huawei pushed the boundaries of 5G and telecommunications. In AI and facial recognition, Chinese firms rivaled the world's best. Chinese tech expanded globally, especially in developing regions. This digital rise sparked new global competition and reshaped the Internet's future. China was now a technological powerhouse. With economic power secured, China set its sights on global influence. In 2013, President Xi Jinping launched the Belt and Road Initiative, or BRI. Inspired by the ancient Silk Road, the BRI aims to connect China with Asia, Europe, Africa and beyond through massive infrastructure projects. Railways, ports and pipelines are being built across dozens of countries. The BRI has two parts, the Overland Belt and the Maritime Road. Chinese banks and companies finance and construct projects worldwide. The initiative opens new markets for Chinese goods and secures vital supply chains. Strategically, it expands China's influence and forges economic ties with partner nations. The BRI is reshaping global trade routes and challenging the old world order. While praised for investment, it's also criticized for creating debt and strategic dependencies. Regardless, the BRI signals China's ambition to shape the global future. China is no longer just a participant, it's a global architect. In 2025, two superpowers define the world, the United States and China. China's economy, once a fraction of America's, is now the world's second largest, and by some measures the largest. The relationship between the two is a mix of deep interdependence and fierce rivalry. China is a major holder of US debt, and American companies depend on Chinese markets and manufacturing, yet competition over trade, technology and influence is intense. This dynamic shapes global politics, forcing other nations to navigate between the giants. China's rise has fueled growth worldwide, lowered consumer prices and inspired developing nations. But challenges remain: an aging population, rising debt and environmental pressures. Still, China's transformation is undeniable, a journey from poverty to global power in a single lifetime. This is not just an economic story, but a human one of ambition and change. The world will study China's rise for generations, seeking lessons for the future. The story of modern China is far from over.